I want at least to introduce 16 so we can cover a little bit of this for Friday. Or do you want the test on Monday this week? Does it make you any difference? Monday. We'll think about it. I just want to introduce the next chapter and get you started. And for obvious reasons, I'd like to quit a little early today. Object suffixes. Now, this is one more piece to verb forms that's kind of a minor addition, but happens enough that you better know something about it. What do we mean by object suffixes? Well, consider the simple sentence using our verb form katal, which means killed. If we wanted to say, if you wanted to write the sentence in Hebrew, he killed them, we can use the verb form katal, right? That means kill. In fact, it's conjugated to the perfect third singular masculine, so you can translate this, he killed. But now here's the key. What's the word for them in Hebrew? All right, let's review. Okay, this is a pronoun, right? This is a personal pronoun. What are the personal pronouns in Hebrew? Well, there are some personal pronouns as independent words, but they're really only used in the nominative or subject case, right? Whenever we have an object pronoun or a possessive pronoun like my or their or me or them, what do we use? Suffix. You know the answer to this question. This is review of lesson 10, right? We use these so-called pronominal suffixes, that whole business of the suffixes that we did some time ago, right? Now, one obvious thing, and this was about the first thing that we learned about those pronominal suffixes, is that you can attach them to a slightly modified form of, what's this? This is the direct object marker, and the suffix then, am, goes on to that direct object marker, right? So that this is the way we would add the direct object them to the simple sentence, he killed them. All right? Now, all that we're going to do in a lesson on object suffixes is recognize that Hebrew developed an even easier way of putting this all together. And instead of adding the pronominal suffix onto the direct object marker, this is the DO marker, they could take the pronominal suffix and add it directly onto the verb itself, which simply means you take the verb form, in this case katal, and you add the am right on the end of it. That's it. Big deal. In principle, this is very straightforward. You're just essentially eliminating the direct object marker and putting the suffix right on to the verb form itself. All right, you get the principle. This isn't that tricky. Okay? Now, of course, it's never quite that simple. There is at least one minor development that you need to observe. Okay? How many syllables did we have here? Katal. How many syllables do we have here? Three. And the accent tends to go toward the object suffix. Okay? So that when you add an object suffix, the accent will move over one spot toward the end of the word, toward that accent. Now, you can predict what's going to happen here, correct? You now have three syllables, ka, ta, lam, tonic, pre-tonic, pro-pretonic. What's going to happen to this initial comets? It's going to go to schwa. Now, that may seem fine and dandy, seeing what's going on. What you don't realize, perhaps quite yet, is that that comets has been a very helpful clue for you in spotting perfect verb forms. And now that comets is going to get disguised, if you will, as it shortens to schwa with these object suffixes. That may cause you a little head scratching if one of these doesn't make sense right away. but you realize what's going on. There's a secondary vowel change while we're at it. This vowel is going to go to commas. Why?
It's open.
It's now in an open syllable, right? Here it was in a closed syllable, katal. Now that lamed starts the next syllable. This syllable's open and that vowel lengthens. This you don't hardly, unless you're writing the language, you never worry about. It'll be done for you. You won't even notice it because you don't hear it that much anyway, kitalam. But this schwa is worth noting. Okay? All right, let me give you another example. How would you say